Back in the first unit, we created a rectangle calculator in which the user entered the width and length, click calculate, and we got the calculation results for the area and the perimeter to 2 decimal places. So it was rounded to 2 decimal places. If we go back and look at the code for that, that was accomplished using the ToString method to convert our double values to a ToString, or to cast them to a string. And then inside the parentheses of the ToString method, I specified a string argument of how I want these formatted. And I used an N2, which meant 2 decimal places to the number. In this lesson, let's take a closer look at the ToString method and how we can format numeric output in various ways. The argument we've seen so far is the letter N. It can be the uppercase or lowercase, followed by a number, and that will give us 2 decimals. You can leave the number off, it'll give you 2 by default, but you could do 1, you could do 3, you could do 5, however many decimal values you want. You place that after the N. So here the example is, we have XYZ as 12,345.7654. If I do N2, it's going to give me a decimal display of 0.77. Now notice it also adds in the comma separator between the thousands and the hundreds. There's another format, which is F, which stands for fixed point, and it works the exact same way. You can basically get the same results, except for it doesn't put in the comma separator. So you use F or N depending on whether you want to have that comma separator in your value. We can use the letter C, and that's going to give us a currency value. If our system is set up for US currency, it's going to give us a $sign. If it was set up for Japan currency, it would give you a yen symbol. And in France, we'd get a euro symbol. Again, 2 is the default here for C, so you don't need to put the C2, you can just put C. But you might want to have maybe 3 decimal places, such as if you're looking at maybe at gas prices. Gas prices are usually 3 decimals in our currency. A P, uppercase or lowercase, will give us a percentage. So here I have ABC as 0.78356. If I display that as a percentage with 1 decimal, it'll round off to 78.4%. It multiplies by 100, gives us the number of decimals, rounding off to that, and gives us a percent symbol at the end. The E argument gives us an exponential value or a scientific value. So here E4 gives us 1.2345 to the exponent of 4. B will give us a binary value. So here the value of 65 is CBA. I can display that as 8 bits, and I get 01000001. If you don't specify the number of bits, it'll just use whatever size it needs. So maybe if we have, let's say 7, it's only going to give us 111. We can also use an X to get a hexadecimal value. So I can take the value of 255, which we know is FF, and it will display as FF. And then notice the D for decimal value. This will give us leading zeros in front of our value. So again, with 65, if I do a D5, I'm going to get 00065. There are other formats. These are the most common ones. We can also use .ToString to do formatting of date-time objects and display dates and times in multiple ways. We'll look at that soon. For now, we're focused on numeric formatting. We can also use these formatting arguments with variables in string interpolation. So here we have a variable called cost, and I want to display that as currency with 2 decimals. So I can do inside the curly brackets my variable colon and then the formatting argument. I can also use that feature in the string.format with the placeholder colon and the formatting argument. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the Programming Practicum playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos I create, you can click my picture in the top right to subscribe to the channel.